Probably one of the most underappreciated characters in comic books is Alfred Pennyworth, but he's arguably one of the most important characters in comic books. This is the man that raised the Batman. This is the man that trained him, looks after his gadgets, and still to this day acts as a father figure for the Batman. And that requires a great actor, performance, and portrayal for that role. Andy Serkis is reportedly the next Alfred in Matt Reeves' The Batman to play alongside Robert Pattinson's Batman, and I can't wait to see him in this role. I'm hoping he'll be a bit more of a rough around the edges version of Alfred, a bit similar to the one in Gotham, and you can plainly see his roots as an agent. And in many ways, he's just as competent as Batman himself. In today's video, we're going to be ranking all the different cinematic interpretations of Alfred. Please keep in mind this is just an opinion and there is no fair way to rank Alfreds. Different versions of this character serve different purposes with different amounts of screen time. I can only really rank what I've got to work with though. So that's what we'll be doing today. Once again, this video is sponsored by NordVPN and you can get 4 months free with a 3-year subscription by using my discount code. Everything you need is in the description below, so check it out. Alright, onwards. In 7th place, last place, we have Douglas Hodge, the Alfred from 2019's Joker. His role in this film was minimal, but still enough to leave an impression as the character of Alfred. Would I like to see more of Douglas Hodge in this role? Yes, but I will say that this is definitely one of the worst on-screen portrayals of Alfred. The performance is absolutely fine. Douglas Hodge does exactly what the script needs him to do. This version of Alfred is seen encountering Arthur Fleck sticking his fingers in Bruce's mouth. Now, Bruce is just a child, and Alfred is a very concerned guardian here. The problem is, this Alfred seems to garner perhaps a little bit too much enjoyment and indulgence after telling off Arthur Fleck, which does make him rather unlikable. His concern is absolutely valid, and he's doing his job as Bruce's guardian here. But when Arthur Fleck brings up the notion that Thomas Wayne could be his father, and he bursts into fits of laughter, I could kinda understand why Arthur Fleck took it the wrong way and started strangling him. This is one of those moments in the film where I could kind of empathize with Arthur Fleck, and that's not a feeling I like having towards Alfred. On any other day, for me, Alfred is one of the most respectable characters in superhero mythology. Here, I'm rooting for Arthur Fleck. This version of Alfred just seems like a bit of a weasel. In 6th place is Ralph Fiennes, who played Alfred in the Lego Batman movie. Obviously, Ralph Fiennes does not get as much to work with as some of the other Alfreds on this list, being more of a caricature of Alfred than anything else. But in his own right, he's absolutely spectacular. For starters, Ralph Fiennes is perfect casting. I'd love to see this guy as a serious live-action Alfred. And he even gets in on the action, donning the 1960s batsuit. That's just awesome. What makes this all work though is that Ralph Fiennes plays this role totally straight. He knows he's playing a Lego minifig, and he knows it's a parody of the character, but the performance is played totally straight, and that's perfect. That's what gels this whole thing together and makes it work on a comedic level and a film level. I think Ralph Fiennes is just perfect casting for any version of Alfred. He's an absolutely terrific actor. In 5th place is Alan Napier. Now, fun fact, Alan Napier is the only live-action iteration of Alfred to have Alfred's iconic little moustache. I also get the feeling that the Alfred in Batman Telltale was very much modeled after Alan Napier. With the exception of Adam West and Burt Ward, actors from the 1966 Batman TV series tend to get pushed to the back of rankings a little bit, even though many of these people really pioneered this role, including Alan Napier as Alfred. This performance is what every other performance is kinda based around in some regard. This is what kinda gave us our earliest ideas of what Alfred actually sounds like, and Alan Napier plays it absolutely straight. Now, Alan Napier doesn't get much to work with on like sort of a very character-based level, but there's quite a bit of physical meat to his role, including him actually suiting up as Batman and taking on the Joker. I like seeing the more competent and skillful sides to Alfred, and Alan Napier gets quite a number of opportunities to shine in that aspect. In 4th place is Michael Gough, and before you Americans tell me it's pronounced Michael Go, no, he's a British actor. In England, a name like that would be pronounced as Gough, so The more you know. Michael Gough plays Alfred as a very earnest and honest soul, who's very technologically competent, well-mannered, and at times a little bit troubled. Michael Gough definitely portrays more of the Butler sensibilities of Alfred, and comes across as very loving to the whole Batman family. As a matter of fact, his performance is one of the redeeming qualities in Batman and Robin. I could definitely feel an element of kinship between him and George Clooney's Bruce Wayne, which nobody ever talks about, but it's really good. In third place is Michael Caine. Once again, that sense of kinship between Bruce and Alfred is very felt in this rendition of the character. This Alfred is very much a man of duty, and a man of discipline. He's a man that has vowed to protect Bruce Wayne, and can always make heads or tails of even the most unexplainable situations such as the Joker. He's very much a man of his own convictions, and has a very sort of a well-versed, well-read sort of a vibe to him. He's a very intelligent person. Michael Caine's Alfred was very much the Dark Knight trilogy's commentary on the philosophies that were at play in these films, and he served them very well for that. I mean, I guess it's kind of easy to say that it does feel as though he has a speech prepared before everything that he says, but Michael Caine delivers these lines so well and really elevates his material to a new level. Okay, I'm just going to put this on hold for a minute because you're probably wondering, is this based on the actor performances or the Alfred itself? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm just kind of doing this in a personal order of favorites, but I'm confused by my own logic on this, to be honest. It's a tough one to rank because they're all really, really good. Well, still not a big fan of the one that's in Joker, but like, they're all good. Before we reach our number 2 spot, I'm just gonna give an honorable mention to Jack Bannon. Jack Bannon plays an Alfred unlike any other in the Pennyworth epic series. He plays a young Alfred during his days as an agent, and he plays it with a sense of authentic Cockney charisma. I understand that Pennyworth is supposed to be a prequel to Gotham, but Jack Bannon's performance really reminds me of Michael Caine. The reason he's only an honorable mention on this list is because what I have seen of his performance is fantastic, and I really like this version of Alfred, but it is very difficult to rank him among the other versions of the character on this list, and the truth be told, I have not seen much of Pennyworth, so therefore, I can't truly make that comparison. But from what I have seen, it's a very similar sort of a tone to Gotham, where it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's also quite dark as well. Very, very stylized, and Alfred himself is a very hands-on character, and Jack Bannon brings that across flawlessly. He really reminds me of a young Michael Caine. So while it feels like this is very much the Gotham universe in its infancy, it feels like this Alfred is the one that's gonna go on to become the Michael Caine actor version, I guess. But I guess I can also imagine him growing into Sean Pertwee as well, so it works. Okay, and the number 2 pick for my favorite Alfred is, and this is gonna be a weird one, but it's Jeremy Irons. I think the casting of the DC Extended Universe at the stage of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice was a stroke of genius, and Jeremy Irons was no exception to that. Jeremy Irons very much plays a tired and grizzled version of Alfred to go alongside Ben Affleck's very tired and grizzled Batman. Batman has had enough. He no longer cares about what he's doing. He's lost track of his philosophy, and every passing day, Alfred sees that. And Alfred has lost hope for Batman. Batman has fallen into the abyss. And when you're seeing Alfred in this movie, Batman v Superman, you're seeing a very sort of a broken man. This man that he raised, Batman, has gone off the deep end, and now he's just helping his wayward son, simply out of loyalty, simply out of his own personal convictions. He plays along with Batman, he humors him, he's got a very sarcastic attitude towards him, but he himself does not support Batman's crusade against Superman. He's not here to narrate the Batman philosophy like Michael Caine's Alfred, he's here to challenge it. I feel like Jeremy Irons' Alfred can be summed up in one scene from the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman after Batman has just attacked Superman, when Batman tells Alfred he doesn't deserve him, and Alfred responds by saying, "No sir, you don't." It's simple, but it's effective. I don't really need to say anything to go along with that or accompany that. It's a brief dialogue exchange that tells us everything we need to know about this character dynamic. Of course, we did see Jeremy Irons' Alfred in Justice League as well. Now, bit of a different story there. He definitely doesn't get anywhere near as much to do, but I definitely get a sense of relief from his performance. He's now witnessing Batman, a man that went off the deep end coming back to himself, his soul saved, doing the right thing. He still makes snarky comments, but he's back in the game now. He's back to believing in what he's doing. And Jeremy Irons portrays both versions of this Alfred so well. And in first place for the best Alfred, and you probably guessed it already, is Sean Pertwee from Gotham. When I first saw Sean Pertwee's version of Alfred in the very first episode of Gotham, I was like, that right there is the weak link. This was kind of my first experience with a Cockney Alfred, and I was much more used to the sort of the Michael Gough version of Alfred, or for more of a middle ground, the Michael Caine version. But as I got to know Sean Pertwee's Alfred, he quickly became my favorite protagonist in Gotham. His Cockney wit was a breath of fresh air, but his very sort of surrogate father-son relationship with Bruce feels so convincing, and Duvin Mazouz and Sean Pertwee have absolutely terrific on-screen chemistry. I also just love the juxtaposition between the very sort of the high-class, the clean, the prim and proper Bruce Wayne, and his grizzled ex-SAS agent, father figure Alfred, who will do anything for him, including going toe-to-toe with freaking Bane, and beating up the Joker. It's Alfred in this series that teaches Bruce Wayne to fight. He gives Bruce Wayne his vigilante spirit to sort of bend the law, be greater than the law, be a hero for the people. Also, he slapped Selina Kyle, and that's absolutely hilarious. But he did it all to protect Bruce from getting, well, strung along. And his dynamic with Selina is just, it's incredible. The character development is absolutely fantastic. And as well as that, this Alfred is pretty capable himself. He's narrowly escaped death all by himself many times. But at the core of it is just this kinship with Bruce Wayne. And that's just really wonderful. Well, what do you guys think? Comment below and discuss, and as always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like button, and in the description below are the links to my Patreon and my Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a great day. That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you? Because you could get a way better costume from Zentai Zone. Check out their range of custom-made, tailored superhero costumes. Ridiculously good quality, value, and customization. Link is in the description below, as well as my coupon code CHANNELPUP, where you can get a discount off of your purchase. And while you're at it, why not get your suit designed by my talented buddy Dan from New Blood Dan's workshop? You can contact him via the link in the description below. Seriously guys, you do not want to miss out on your chance to be your favorite superhero and feel authentic and professional. And you don't want to miss out on that Channel Pup discount.